Good morning, Brother Gerald, YouTube philosopher. Today is Tuesday, January 31st, 2017. And woke up this morning finding out that Sally Yates, interim Attorney General for the United States of America, has been fired because she wouldn't carry out a lawful order issued by the president regarding these countries that have been put on a list to be turned back at the airport. And she was replaced by a gentleman, Dana Boente. And it's really striking, it's really telling that women really feel like they can do anything, including run roughshod over your boss. I mean, you really honestly think that you can tell your boss what time it is and he was the one who gave you the clock to watch? To me, this is just another example of how women really don't get it. That when you are on a team, the team has to have a leader. And the leader calls the shots and everybody else has to kind of fall in line. But you want to have this idea of equality, egalitarianism. And the only thing equal about living on this earth as a man and as a woman is that we have to eat and we have to pay taxes and we have to die. That's the only equality that we have. A woman cannot be expected to have children past the age of 55. A man can have a baby until the day he drops dead, and if a woman really wanted to harvest some semen from the corpse, she could get viable semen out of this man's dead body and impregnate another woman. Now, I don't see any old women at 70 having any capability or means of doing that. And I know that's kind of a gross example to say, but on a biological basis, we're not equal. You guys go through menopause. Men do not pause in terms of their sexual fertility. We may slow down, we may become impotent, but in terms of if we have a prostate that is halfway functional, we can have an erection and we can have an orgasm. So just on that fundamental basis, I'm just really amazed that Miss Yates decided to take that position that she took. But I guess she was somewhat encouraged when the federal judge basically declared that what Trump was doing was unconstitutional. But he still has a job and he has an opinion. And his opinion has no weight as a result of him putting it out there. So she's thinking that, well, I got the judiciary backing me up on this. I'm not going to do my job. Her job is to carry out orders. And if she had a problem carrying out and executing that order on any moral basis, then she should have made an offer of resignation. If you're not going to do the job as your commander-in-chief orders you to do, then you might as well not even take that job on. And to me, this is what is missing in marriage. And that's why I would really recommend that people don't get married, because the culture has trained women to believe that they can do whatever the heck they want to do and that there's no leadership in a relationship. Somebody's going to be calling the shots and somebody's going to be taking responsibility to deal with whatever happens in that relationship. And most of the time, the courts have ruled that it's the man that does that because, typically speaking, in our culture, the man was considered to be the breadwinner. And even today continues to be considered the breadwinner. I remember in my own marriage, my wife did not have to work, but she did work a job. But it was at a point that the money that she generated was for her personal benefit and her personal expense. And it was on that basis that I believe that I am being responsible because I'm paying the bills. I'm taking care of all of these things. So I am putting forth the gold. And so the golden rule is he who has the gold makes the rules. Now, if she wanted some egalitarianism, which to me really isn't egalitarian, if she wanted to call the shots, she could have. But she didn't want to bear the responsibility of when things go bad, it's her fault. She would blame me for not doing this, because we had some hypothetical conversations about this. This is okay. So what's going to happen if we lose? Well, you should have known. You should have stepped to the plate and helped me avoid this trouble. But I'm saying, well, are you stepping to the plate and avoiding the trouble for me? When things go wrong with me, no. I just make the best of the situation. And if it causes me to lose a little sleep, work a little harder to recover, then hey, I do what I got to do. Don't cry about it. Don't say nothing about it. But I would just say this is, to me, a very good lesson. And I applaud my president, Donald Trump, for having the balls to get rid of this woman, because most of us men really don't have the balls and the courage to do so when it becomes very apparent that these women don't want to really, fall in line and yield to your leadership. They're attracted to you. They want to be with you. That's what they tell you. They love you, but they don't want to do the very things that you would have them to do to make you happy. So with that, I just hope that women will think clearly, and get that blessing, because had she been thinking very clearly, she would have not been humiliated by getting fired only to be replaced by a man. And I hope men will think clearly and get that blessing. And when you see a woman coming off with all this feminist kind of attitude that she can't be replaced, that you just love her so, she's just so indispensable. No, she's not indispensable, and these women need to understand that. You're with them because you made the choice to be with them, and that choice will be contingent upon them doing the very things that made you want to be with them in the first place. So peace to you all.